Interview today is going to be with Tammy from Asian Aid, and she's going to be sharing with us about their new campaign, Speaking Up and Staying Safe. Tammy, welcome to the Breakfast Show. It's great to have you.
Hi, good morning, Scappy. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. So, Tammy, looks like there's a very exciting new project going on with Asian Aid. Can you tell us a little bit more about that new campaign?
Yes. So our current campaign, so what we're focusing on this month is the topic of advocacy, so speaking up and staying safe. And the main focus of that is the importance of children having a voice on matters that affect them. So in the context where Asian Aid works, so we're in India, Nepal and Bangladesh, the issues that children and their caregivers are raising their voices on include things like human trafficking, child labour and child marriage. So some very serious child rights abuses that they're learning how to raise their voices about.
Yeah, so look, how does that work? Because it is very difficult for children to speak up or to say something, particularly if there's an adult involved, and sometimes these are family members. There's a lot of taboos in in a lot of shame culture in those countries where to even raise up something like that can bring unspeakable shame to that family, to the parents. So how does it work? How can we teach children to speak up? To whom could they speak up? And tell us a little bit more about how that could help them in practice.
Yeah, definitely. A big focus of it would be finding the trusted adults or the community champions that are there for that purpose. So it might be finding representatives in the police force or teachers, parents. It could be people in the government body as well. And so in Asian Aid, so the way that it works for our projects, our partner staff will work out who those influential adults are, those that are championing the rights of children. They'll get them on board and then they'll work out ways to raise these issues with them. And in very safe and measured ways, they'll have children get involved as well. So it might be that there might be a bigger campaign going on in the community, but what the children might do is create posters with messaging about the different issues that they want to talk about. They might do just simple awareness activities within their school or within their local community. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There's definitely, the aim is not to put the children in further danger. It's more to slowly work on changing the narrative behind some of these things that are prevalent in the communities where these children are living.
Tell me more. Can you tell me a bit more about these community champions and how Asian Aid is able to screen and identify who are these safe adults around the children? And what kind of, so you mentioned that there's some perhaps police officers and whatnot, but could you tell us a little bit more details about who these people are that are wanting to empower children to speak up?
Yeah, absolutely. It would be similar to what we have in Australia, where you would have police officers trained particularly in child protection. So in the case of India, they would have like a district child protection unit that they can go to. And so there would be police officers linked to that unit and that role. And usually that's who our partner staff will connect with first. But there's a lot of discussion that goes between the NGOs themselves. So the groups that we work with overseas are NGOs, and they would speak with other NGOs that are working on similar programs or working towards similar goals. And you would be able to start to work out who are people that we can trust, who are influential people that genuinely have proven that they have the rights of children that's what they're looking to promote, and then that's who we would work with. Okay. But we definitely, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. So that is absolutely really good for them to know, hey, there are safe people around that you can raise these issues with in a safe way. How is that going to be communicated to these children? So Asian Aid is going to be sending people like from door to door to raise the awareness, or is this going to happen at a classroom setting? Through which avenues are these children going to be exposed to that information, to that knowledge?
Yeah, very much. So the majority of the work that Asian Aid does is quality education for children, so sponsoring children to attend school or equipping schools in order to offer quality education. And so the main area that this happens is in the school context, in the classroom. So it will be in places where the teachers understand the dynamics around how to offer that information to children or to get them involved in safe ways. But it's essentially what it is that beyond the foundational subjects of maths and English and science and things like that, we offer life skills programs and safety awareness sessions as well. So within that, we keep it quite simple. The life skills sessions might be about how to create healthy relationships with your peers or your friends. It might be about healthy, like hygiene habits and things like that. But then we also talk about personal safety. So like safe and unsafe touch, which is an understanding the difference between those two things. It might be working out in your school community or with like around your home, what are the safe places and maybe the less safe places and why is that? And as our staff have the conversations with children in an after-school setting, like after-school tuition program setting or in a classroom setting, it just gets the wheels turning for them to better understand safety and work out where they fit and where they might be able to raise their thoughts about it. So not necessarily in a campaign on the street sort of way, but even just in a more conversational way with their loved ones, with their parents or with their teachers or with their community members.
Yeah, that's so important. And this is a campaign that has a bit of a time frame to start and a time to end, or is this something that is designed to be held on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, very much on an ongoing basis. So any time that you donate to this particular area of H&A's programs, there's every year there's funding that goes towards this to help pay for the social workers that we have on staff, to help pay for the resources that go behind personal safety programs and things like that. At the moment, we're focusing on it. So we do tend to pick throughout the year what's something that we really want to share with our community around us that we can let you know is happening within the Asian aid space. But yeah, at the moment, this is the focus that we wanted to touch base on. And it also follows, so towards the end of last year, we introduced the night care program as well, which some of the listeners might have heard about, which is the night care for children aged 0 to 5 years old who are the children of sex workers in Cambodia, offering them safe accommodation, meals, baths in a night care centre. So I think following on from introducing that program under Asian Aid, we're now continuing to look at the advocacy piece and the child safety piece.
Yeah, that yes, we've heard a fair bit about the night care program, and I'm a big fan. I think that is such a beautiful way for protecting the most vulnerable children and giving them just a safe haven and a safe place. I think this is an incredible ministry that really reflects the ministry. It reminds me of the ministries that the early church would do in the Book of Acts. And Tammy, look, I have a few questions as well that some things that I'm curious. One of them is that you said that this campaign of picking up and staying safe is something that's being done across different countries. So I think you mentioned India, Nepal, and Cambodia. Is that right?
Yeah, so India, Nepal, Cambodia, Bangladesh. So Cambodia is our night
as well.
Bangladesh, yeah, very much.
So
yeah.
Are there differences in terms of, these countries' legislations about these issues? In particular, I'm thinking here about child marriage, for example. I know that I read somewhere that, in Pakistan, I think that in some provinces are just now starting to rule that out as an unlawful practice. Is there any difference in terms of working with these countries? Are some countries of these easier to work, or some countries are more resistant, perhaps from a legislation perspective, perhaps from a cultural perspective? What are some of the challenges that Asian Aid has found in working with these various, very different cultures in trying to achieve that, in trying to give these life skill to these children?
Oh, it's incredibly difficult, and you're right. Like, I'm glad that you've touched on child marriage particularly. So for, in our context, India, Nepal and Bangladesh, it's illegal in each of those countries and has been for quite a period of time. But even some of the statistics on it for Bangladesh, they've said that 51% of girls in Bangladesh are married before the age of 18, with 16% married before the age of 15. And then over in Nepal, it's 35% before the age of 18 and 23% of girls in India before the age of 18.
Wow.
And with the population of India, you can imagine that 23% of girls is millions of girls before the age of 18. And so, yes, even though there's legislation around it, the implementation of that, I think, is quite complex. A lot of the time, If the parents are adamant about it, or if the police are quite lax in responding to it, then it does go under the radar and the children remain in that space. And so the role that Asian Aid partners play is that the staff are trained on reporting it to the police and to the authorities. And then the main role that we play is trying to encourage, counselling the parents and the children to get the child back to school. So giving them what's the alternative. If you wait, if you keep your child in school, look at all the wonderful things that will mean for them. If you wait just this, a few years longer, wait till they get to this stage, then the outcomes are better, and trying to counsel them and support the child to return back to the classroom rather than end up in something very dangerous like that.
Yes, absolutely. Especially because, in a lot of cases with these prearranged marriages where it's often the case with child marriages in these countries, they're often not going to be the first wife of the supposed husband. There's often also a huge age gap, sometimes 30, 40 years of difference. So it can be a very, very traumatizing situation for these girls. And Tammy, just one more question here. So do you have any stories of children who were able to speak up, or stories of the real impact that this campaign has brought to some of these children that you can share with us?
Yeah, definitely. So even thinking, we talked a little bit about child marriage, but some of the other issues that are affecting children in our programs, we said like human trafficking, and a lot of drug abuse is going on as well with the children themselves. So a lot of the adolescent children are falling into drug abuse, but also their community members and their parents. So Asian has been sharing a story about a 12-year-old boy called Harish from South India. So he lives with his parents and his older sister. So his mother, she works as a domestic helper, so works across different homes, and his father is an auto driver, so drives the rickshaws over in India. But so their income is very, very meagre. So Harish has been part of Asian Aid Football for Life program, so learning football skills after school, being part of our life skills and safety awareness programs, and receiving nutrition, so a meal at the end of the day after school. As part of that, Harish learnt about drug abuse and the impact that can have on a person's life and on their family and on their community. And he learnt about the different services that were in his area to help people that might have addictions to drugs or problems managing them. And so Harish, feeling confident after learning about the information and talking with the social worker, so the team member for Asian Aid, decided that he wanted to share that information with his father and with his mother, just to let them know what was out there, if maybe they didn't know that there was help for it. And thankfully, the process went smoothly and safely, and Harish's father then went and sought the support service. So is now reducing the amount of drugs that he's taking, and his behaviour's improved significantly for Harish's family.
Wow, that is an amazing story. And Tammy, how can we contribute? How can we be a part of that change? How can we make these really, really solid impacts through Asian Aid in the lives of countless children? Is it very expensive to be able to help, in these projects?
No, not at all. It can really be whatever you're able to give. A lot about advocacy is sharing the information, and so even just letting your communities know about these things that are going on for children overseas, but also in Australia. These issues very much affect our children and our communities here as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it also doesn't cost very much. So some of our activities might be paying for the posters and the texters and the materials to make little campaign posters or awareness posters for the kids. And so a very little amount can go a long way as far as helping people to find their voice, to talk about, children to find their voice, to talk about what matters to them.
And if God is impressing the heart of someone right now to make a contribution, to help out in this project, what can they do to actuate on that conviction?
They can definitely call Asian Aid. So we're 0265864250. That's our number. But then also our website as well is the easiest place to do that. So asianaid.org.au. But it'd be incredible to receive more support for it. But please, even just praying. Praying is a wonderful way to keep to keep advocacy moving in the way that it does.
Absolutely. Tammy, thank you so much for sharing this amazing project, Speaking Up and Staying Safe campaign, something that Asianet has been doing for a while now, and it has been reaping some amazing fruits of righteousness into the lives of children and their parents in these Asian countries. Thank you very much.
No worries, Kathy. Thank you.